everyone, welcome back. I am Lottie Lumley. I am the author of the Icarus Bluff series, Bullseye for Love, and more to come in 2026. I can't believe it is September. And with it being September, it is Shifter September. For the month of September, I will be reading Shifter books.
So you're a werewolf.
Yeah, last time I checked.
So excited. I am actually writing a beer shifter series, and so I thought this is perfect. It is an alliteration, and we love that, and I am so excited to show you what is on my September TBR. I have chosen 4 shifter romances, and I would say 2 of them are authors that I really enjoy, and then 2 are new to me authors. So the first one is Driven Wild by The Grizzly by Ava Ross. The next one is The Wolf Professor by Lilith Stone. Ruby Wolf by Lola Glass. And last but not least, Fated to the Wolf Prince by April L. Moon. So those are going to be the 4 stories that I will try to read in the month of September. I have some travel, which could actually help me because with travel, there will be some downtime, and then I could read in that downtime. And what else is happening in September? I feel like that's pretty much it. That can sway if I finish all 4 of these, or if I could just make it through 2 of them. But that is going to be on my list, and so I'm going to read you the blurb for each of them, and then we will do a wrap-up. Driven Wild by The Grizzly, a fated mate's insta-love romance. Part of the Obsessed Mountain Mates by Ariana Hawks. I'm not a guy who likes to leave the forest much, but I'm driving my granddad's bus route while he's having a hip operation. If I don't, he'll lose the career he loved for 50 years. I'm happy to help the old man out, but it's a pain in my ass. Endless hills, the bus wheezing and spluttering, whining customers. Then she clambers on, and I know why. Fate threw this good deed my way. She's the one. Mine. My mate. I'm figuring out how to tell her she's going to be the mother of my cubs when the darn bus breaks down. I tell her to take a shortcut home through the nearby forest. But there's no way I'm leaving her by herself. I'll just follow her, make sure she's safe. But then the heavens open and she needs rescue from the storm. The only place to take her is my cabin, deep in the middle of the wilderness. I've got one night to convince her that she's staying here forever. The Wolf Professor, a steamy, sweet monster romance by Lilith Stone. Can the werewolf professor resist his gorgeous research assistant? When history professor Max Hunt arrives to Motham City to work on his new book, he finds out that his research assistant, Charlie, is not the guy he expected, but a girl, a deliciously attractive human who keeps tempting his inner wolf to behave in quite a beastly fashion. And what's worse, his low-life werewolf cousins want him to join in the winter solstice rut. Something the highbrow professor would never consider if it weren't for gorgeous Charlie Sullivan and her delectable scent. As for Charlie, she's had a major crush on Max since she attended one of his lectures as a student. But being Max's assistant, working with him to uncover Motham City's fascinating past is a dream come true. But it's not long before Max and Charlie uncover some scandalous secrets from their own past, and suddenly their overpowering attraction to one another starts to make perfect sense. Ruby Wolf by Lola Glass. A city at war, and I'm the only one who can end it. I grew up the daughter of the alphas of all, a ruby wolf destined to take over modern alpha werewolves all over the world. The problem? Ruby wolves can only mate with other rubies, and there wasn't one. Till I stumbled upon Shifter City. Now I've got half a dozen ruby shifters on my tail, and only a week to decide which one I'll mate with. The one I choose will determine which shifters can control of the city. Somehow I stepped into an episode of The Ruby Bachelorette, but this isn't a TV show, it's a war. Fated to the Wolf Prince, a fated mate's wolf shifter paranormal romance. Great pack gatherings, 3 little worlds. One mandate that ruined my life. I'm a doctor and a researcher. My pack is small in a quiet part of Central Texas. It's a simple existence, and I like it that way. It's just me and my 2 besties living our best single lives. That is, until the mandate comes. Every unmated wolf in the entire world called to one place. I must sigh, the weakest designation there is. I can barely shift, and there's no chance of me getting matched, only humiliated. It can't get worse until it does. I've barely made it off the bus when I lock eyes with the hottest wolf I've ever seen, and he reeks of power. There's no way he'll be interested in me, a Psy wolf who can barely hold her shift, until my wolf starts acting crazy. My magic goes on the fritz, and I'm suddenly wielding way more power than a lowly Psy. Goddess only knows what's going on, but there isn't much time for me to figure it out. Oh, and there's one more thing. Mr. Hottie McPowerful, he's the prince of the shifter world and my fated mate, whether he wants to be or not. I hope some of those pique your interest, and if you have any recommendations for other shifter romances, leave them down in the comments and let me know what you want to do for the month of October for the theme. I'm thinking maybe something more spooky, maybe like a horror book, which I typically don't read, but I have actually been interested in reading some of Stephen King's work, and I know he is great at putting that suspense, that thrill, and so let me know also if you have any suggestions for the month of October. Until next time, bye guys!